Now we go to our second of 12 races here at Arena E. And next up it is Minimax. Here is your starting order. So on pole position will be the 136 of Leandro Fischer and the 111 of Montego Maassen alongside. Tom Müller in the 122 and Moritz Wolber in the 115 will be on row number 2. Mikko Mikov in the 102 and Austin Lee in the 107 will round out the top 3 positions. Jonas Ungnada in the 158 will have David Schnell in the 112 for company on row number 4. And completing the top 10 will be David Jeruk in the 121 and the 174 of Hugo Gütel. And the 12-strong grid will be completed by the 166 of Maximilian Schreier and Adrian Rohr in the 103. Red lights ignited on the starting gantry once again. Another 9 minutes put onto the timer. So it will be down to Leandro Fischer and Montego Maassen to control the rolling start. As they now make their way onto the back part of the circuit through into the final chicane before the double right-hander that will bring them onto the start-finish straight. The drivers now make their way through the right-hand sweeper that will bring them onto the start-finish straight. Lights will go out. We are clean starting and we are off and away, and it is nearly 3 abreast going into turn 2. But at the moment, Leandro Fischer has kept the lead as the drivers still trying to make their way through the first couple of corners cleanly, as there's a little bit of a tussle between Austin Lee and the 158 of Jonas Ungnada as they headed down the straightaway towards turn 5, as we've got a spinner at the back of the field. And that was the 166 of Maximilian Schreier that went spinning, as Fischer now leads. And Montego Maassen now is down into 3rd position. Looks like Tom Müller's got up into 2nd place and will start chasing the RS competition driver for the lead. So Maximilian Schreier has now rejoined a little bit further down the order, but the 122 of Tom Müller now trying to close up and try and go for the lead on Leandro Fischer, as a little bit further behind. Mikko Mikov definitely entrenched in a battle for around about 10th place. And it looks like Adrian Rohr is just up ahead as Mikko Mikov trying to go up the inside, goes side by side through the exit chicane and gets through. So it looks like that the top 4 will be joined by at least one other kart in the form of 107 Austin Lee. Looks very, very close between 2nd to 4th position, which is being led by Tom Müller. But Jonas Ungnada trying to close on Montego Maassen for 3rd as they come across the line to complete lap number 2. Maassen now trying to go towards the inside of Müller going into turn 2, makes the move through. And then also Ungnada tries to go through too and gets through for 3rd position. And whilst that has happened, Austin Lee now closing on the 122 and going around the outside and actually gets past before they even make the apex of the turn 5 corner. But then Tom Müller still trying to close back up on Austin Lee for 4th place. Just behind them, you've got the likes of David Schnell, David Jeruk and Hugo Gütel battling away for what is 6th position. But Austin Lee trying to close up on Montego Maassen now for what is 3rd on the road, as Leandro Fischer has started to get away. They cross the line for lap number 3. And Austin Lee trying to go for third now up the inside of Montego Masson. He actually takes two positions in one corner. Up into second goes the 107 from Kachmi.de. And then also Tom Müller has managed to get up close and personal. It's nearly 2 by 2 heading into turn 5. But Austin Lee managed to get up past two carts in one fell swoop. So got past Montego Masson, and then also Jonas Ungenada, who was trying to get back going through one of the chicanes on the far part of the circuit. But whilst this has been happening, Leandro Fischer has been getting a consistently further distance away. So 1.170 seconds was the difference between Leandro Fischer and Jonas Ungenada on the last lap. But now Austin Lee is in second position, Ungenada in third place. Fischer crosses the line. 54.938 as the 112 of David Schnell trying to go up the inside of Tom Müller for position. Gets up the inside through turns 2 and 3. And that puts the 112 up into 5th place. As then David Chahuk and also Moritz Wolber battling away a little bit just behind that battle. But Fischer now has a gap of nearly 2 seconds over Austin Lee, as Mikko Mikov down in 10th position sets the fastest lap of the race, a 54.870. Four and a half minutes plus an additional lap still remaining. Fischer coming out of the final corner will cross the start-finish line and complete lap number 5 and have an advantage of 2.2 seconds over Austin Lee, as there are more overtaking moves happening, as Montego Masson loses just not 1 place but 2, as the 112 of David Schnell and then the 122 of Tom Müller gets past the triple one through the exit of turn number 3. So the 112 of David Schnell now leading in the battle for 4th position, and that is effectively 7 carts, including himself. So from 4th down to 10th position are in contention for the position now held by the 112. Austin Lee takes a glance over the right shoulder to see where Jonas Ungenada is, and then Ungenada decides to try and go up the inside of the 107 through turn 2, as there are positional changes a bit further towards the back part of the top 10, and Montego Masson, not having a great race at the moment, now drops down to what is 8th position on the road, and has got Mikko Mikov just behind. But at the moment, the fastest lap has now changed from Leandro Fischer to Jonas Ungenada in 3rd place, and the gap between 1st and 2nd now drops to 1.9 seconds, as Fischer did a 55.066, Austin Lee a 54.768, and Ungenada, the fastest lap of the race on lap 6 so far, 54.506. So Fischer has to try and keep pushing forward. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Ungenada and Austin Lee. So it was right front wheel of the 158 that went a little bit skywards as he attempted to try and make a move on Austin Lee. But both drivers still keeping their relevant positions. As Tom Müller trying to close up on David Schnell for 4th place, and was just 38 thousandths of a second quicker on that last time around, and Müller set a personal best in the process. So Leandro Fischer will come across the line to complete lap number 8. Black and white warning flag for the 107 of Austin Lee, as we've got just under 90 seconds remaining of this race, plus an additional lap. As again, Ungenada tries to get past Austin Lee going through into turn 2. And then now, just to go through up the inside of the 107 through into turn 5. And I think there was a little gesture there from Austin Lee just to sort of like say, well, take the place. And A bit of sportsmanship there from the 107. As in the meantime, Tom Müller now is ahead of David Schnell in the 112 for 4th place. Moritz Volber looks to be in 5th, and just behind is Mikko Mikov, who's now, I think, up into 6th position as Austin Lee now closes up on the back bumper of Jonas Ungenader in the 158 in the battle for 2nd position. So 41 seconds on the clock to go as the leader crosses the start-finish line. As now the 112 of David Schnell going up the inside to take a position. And that was on Tom Müller. So Schnell up into 4th place, Müller down to 5th. As Mikko Mikov trying to go up the inside of Moritz Volber, possibly through turn 5. Can't get through because there wasn't enough room there. So next time around, when Leandro Fischer crosses the start-finish line, the 136 from RS competition will get the last lap board. Time's expired, 9 minutes I have counted down to 0. So this time around we'll be on the final lap. But Austin Lee closing on the back bumper of Jonas Ungenader for 2nd position. As up the inside of the 122 of Tom Müller goes Moritz Volber. And gets the position. Now here comes Mikko Mikov. Going to the right first of all, heading into turn 5. No room trying to get through there. As a little tap from behind unsettles the back bumper of Müller, who loses out, not just 1, but 3 places in the process. As Fischer now comes out of the final chicane. Austin Lee, in the meantime, has got past Jonas Ungenader for 2nd position. Around the final corner from RS competition, the 136 of Leandro Fischer takes the victory here in Minimax as Austin Lee fends off Jonas Ungenader to take the runner-up spot. David Schnell finishes in 4th place ahead of Moritz Volber. Mikko Mikov takes 6th place in the 102 ahead of David Chahuk in the 121. Hugo Gürtel in the 174 takes 8th place ahead of Tom Müller, who was running in the top 5 for a consistent amount of that race there. Montego Masson will have to come fighting back in race 2 a bit later on as the 111 finishes in 10th place ahead of Adrian Rohr, with Maximilian Schreier completing the top 12. With Leandro Fischer taking the victory by 3.286 seconds.